I've been reading for 2 hours, almost 2 hours, and we're only now reaching the number 5. So this one is by an author called Zakaria H, which one thing I will always need to make clear, not sure if this is the first one they wrote, but it's the first one of their work that we get to read. First one of one of these authors' work. So, Zakaria H wrote the SCP called Filth. And looks like it's gonna be a bit of a semi-lengthy one. Not too bad. Well, semi-lengthy. Also, he has a link to 2 pretty standard words. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The monthly termination. Imagine some firm used the term monthly termination offhand to describe layoffs, and then now they lock to murder the lowest ranking members of the organization. Yeah, and who knows who who might say it too. You know, it could also be like an announcement, and an entire site's just under the influence. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here we go. Filth. Keter. Special containment. We have 3 Keters today. That's crazy. We had Dracula Factory, we have monthly termination, now we have Filth. Special containment procedures. Embedded Foundation personnel in health, inspection, and waste management departments worldwide currently monitor all major urban centers for signs of an SCP-2194 outbreak, while spearheading intensive cleanup and recycling campaigns within these areas. In the event of a confirmed outbreak, Mobile Task Force Gamma 9 cleaners will be deployed to quarantine the affected area. All instances of -1 are to be isolated within the quarantine zone and neutralized by means of aerosolized VX nerve agent, followed by incineration of remains. All surfaces and remains contaminated by SCP-2194 are to be sealed in expanding polyurethane foam. A new layer of foam sealant is to be applied every 7 days or at first sign of SCP-2194 breaching the seal. Affected areas are to remain under indefinite quarantine, maintained by amnestic and cover-up procedures where appropriate. Should an SCP-2194 outbreak affect a great enough portion of an urban area so as to make isolation and cover-up unfeasible, the area will be permanently evacuated under the pretense of a major chemical leak or imminent nuclear meltdown, if applicable. Under no circumstances are personnel to attempt to clean SCP-2194 from any surface organism. Why isn't the document filled? That would actually have been pretty baller. Well, I'm gonna head out. Alright. Thanks for sticking almost 2 hours. Your new record. New record for Zeno. Description. SCP-2194 is a phenomenon affecting densely populated urban areas which appear to manifest in the presence of persistently excessive quantities of refuse and waste. SCP-2294 manifests as an amorphous and partially mobile mass of common refuse, dead microorganisms, fecal matter, live bacteria, assorted particulate matter, and other forms of biological and non-biological waste. It is currently unknown whether the initial mass of SCP-2194 originates as non-anomalous waste that assumes anomalous properties or forms spontaneously through other means. So it's basically muck from Pokemon. Plus it's muck and that one other Pokemon that's like made out of garbage. Like fuse them together. SCP-2194 propagates via direct physical contact, gradually spreading to adjacent surfaces as a brownish film of waste and particulate. Refuse, waste, and dead biological matter becomes incorporated into the mass of SCP-2294 on contact. Should material affected by SCP-2294 come into direct contact with any surface, including the skin of a live organism, it will leave a stain at the point of contact. This stain spreads at a relatively low rate, smaller than 1 centimeter squared per hour. However, any attempt to abrade, dissolve, corrode, or otherwise remove the stain results in the formation of an amount of material roughly double the amount removed. So if you try to clean it, it just doubles. Avian and millions of subjects exposed to SCP-2194 are invariably distressed by the appearance and growth of the stain, becoming increasingly frantic in the attempt to remove it. This behavior causes the rapid spread of SCP-2294 material across the body surface. ew. So if you try to clean, it just gets stronger. Which there is a soap thing that like there's like a soap recipe like where instead of cleaning the dirt away, it just increases the dirt that you have on yourself. So yeah, I feel like this is like in a similar vein, eh? Isn't that just how regular stains are? Well, the stain, like if you try to clean a stain away, it gets bigger and stronger. I guess you mean like that it spreads, that it spreads around if you try to clean it. This paper causes a rapid spread of. Once SCP-2194 materials cover at least 33% of a live organism's body surface, the organism becomes an instance of -1. Oh great, it has a simplification effect. Instances of -1 are capable of spreading SCP-2194 via direct physical contact and display extremely unhygienic behavior. Characteristics by an obsession with both SCP-2194 and other non-anomalous forms of waste. These behaviors include, but are not limited to, covering self in waste, covering nearby objects and surfaces in waste, collecting large quantities of refuse and dead material to add to the main mass of SCP-2194, immersing self in SCP-2194, ingesting SCP-2194, and attempting to get expunged, causing SCP-2194 to spread to other individuals. Ugh. 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 Instances of -1 typically expire within 5 to 7 days exposure. Often due to suffocation caused by the formation of an overwhelming amount of waste material in the lungs and air passages. Larger organisms may remain alive as long as 18 days before expiring from the effects of blood poisoning and necrotizing fasciitis. Flesh-eating bacteria syndrome. Oh. Yeah, that will do it. SCP-2194 can be partially removed by sustained exposure to an open flame. However, its regenerative properties in response to attempt the removal allow a minimum of 10% of the material to remain on the surface even after several minutes of continuous burning. So it's always going to be 10%. Incineration is 100% effective in the neutralization of instances of -1. Okay, so if a body gets affected by this SCP, you can burn them and they will die and the thing will be gone. But the SCP itself, no. Always 10% left. I was hoping they were gonna start eating. I mean, your hopes have been heard. The most effective containment method currently known is the use of an expanding foam sealant to cover all surfaces affected by SCP-2194, provided that the sealant is applied thoroughly and within the space of a 2 hours. Provided the sealant is applied thoroughly and within a space of 2 hours, SCP-2194 is capable of spreading to the exterior surface of the seal in no less than 200 hours, roughly 8 days. Timer's reapplication prevents this occurrence. And here we have open initial contact log SCP-2194. Date 1980. Location India. Personnel involved response team Apollo. Is this the 1% of germs? Don't know. Personnel involved response team. Preliminary report in response to report of multiple attacks on civilians. Armed response team designated Apollo was dispatched to the District of India. Response team arrived on location 17-2 IST. Begin transcript. So okay, we have Agent Ahara and Agent Home. Alright, here we go. Apollo lead. Apollo Home, this is Apollo lead. How copy? Over.
Loud and clear, Apollo lead. Give us your sitrep. Over.
We're sweeping the area now. Streets are empty. There's some sort of brown substance coating the doors and interior of multiple vehicles. Trailing out into the alleys. Almost looks like it's spreading over the asphalt. No sign of activity on Scratch at home. We got 8 individuals down an alleyway. Looks like civilians. Please advise, over.
Roger, lead. Move in and confirm, over.
Wilco, over. Daniels, Hunt, Banderka with me. And try not to touch that stuff, whatever it is. Agents can be heard acknowledging Apollo's lead, command, and taking position. Ugh, the smell! What in God's name is that shit they're rolling in? Apollo home, we have 8 possibles. 5 of them are rolling around in this mass. It's filling the alley and creeping up the walls too. 3 of them are carrying stuff from down the street and dumping it into the thing. Looks like garbage, mostly. Over.
Roger, lead. Approach with caution and attend communication, over.
Wilco, home, over. This is the police! All of you, stop what you're doing right now and put your hands in the air. Hello? Do you understand me? Banderka? In translation. Hey, this is the police. Hands up, all of you. No good, sir. Individuals are not responding to verbal communication, Apollo home. Firing warning shot over. A single gunshot is heard, several seconds elapse. Well, that got their attention. Look at their faces. That infection is eating away at their skin. Under all that brown stuff. Daniels is a different person, okay. Why are they just staring at us? Are those rats crawling around in there with them? Keep together, Daniels. Vanderke, try speaking to them now. Tell them we need them to cooperate. Listen, we don't want to hurt any of you. All we require is your complete cooperation from this point on. Not if you understand. Good. Now we're getting somewhere. They're listening. What now, sir? Tell them to get up with their hands in the air and form a line. Okay, all of you put your hands in the air. You 2 back there. That means you 2. Drop what you're carrying. Good. Now all of you on the ground, get up slowly. Just like that. Now step out of that pile of... Just take a few steps towards me. From a line so I can see y'all. Good work. Banderke, Apollo home. Individuals are cooperative. How copy?
Solid copy, Apollo lead. Stand by for the arrival of the containment team. ETA in 5 mics. Apollo home out.
The containment team will be here in 5, guys. Sit tight. Try to keep them occupied. Banderke. Will do, sir. Listen, people, we're going to be taking you all somewhere safe, away from this filth. We will get you cleaned up and... Loud vocalization of distress are heard. Hey, calm down. You stop that. Get back in line. What did you say to them, Banderke? I don't know. All I said was we're going to take them somewhere safe and clean the shit out of them. Well, get them back in line. Threaten them if you have to. Just do it. Hey. All of you get away from there and line up right now or you will be shot. 3 gunshots are heard. This is your final warning. Get in line or I swear I will burn this disgusting pile of excrement with all of you in it. Sudden silence followed by an unidentified chattering sound. What is the untranslatable expletive? Open fire! Open fire! Get them off me! Get them off! Further speech is muffled. Multiple gunshots. Sorry about that. That came out of nowhere. Apollo home, come in. What the hell is the containment team? And transcript. Well, there's still 2 mics away, bro. Open post operational interview. Date 1980. Interviewer Dr. Glenn interviewed Agent Ahara. Accept your apology. Thank you for accepting it. Good morning, Agent Ahara. How are you feeling? Franklin, I don't need a psych evaluation. I understand. Could you describe to me the events that transpired yesterday in Delhi? More specifically, what happened to Agent Banderka? Well, we rounded up 8 affected individuals in the alleyway. Most of them were crawling around in this mass of God knows what, covered in the same brown stuff we saw on the walls and the streets before. Like pigs in the mud on a hot day. We managed to get their attention, eventually. Banderka spoke Hindi, so he was able to talk to them and get them to cooperate. After that, we were just waiting for the containment team to arrive. And then... Cough again, you face the consequence. Okay, I'm sorry. Then he said something that they didn't like. Told them we'd take them away. Get that foul shit off of them. Clean them up. Something else as well. Don't remember. First they started crying and wailing like kids, throwing themselves back into the mass, desperate like they were trying to bury themselves in it so we couldn't take them away. I told Bandari to make them get back in line, threaten them if necessary. So he yelled and screamed blue murder at them, and they just went on wailing, until they heard something he said right at the end there. They all went quiet, just staring at him. Then they started making this chittering noise with their teeth all together. Cries got loud. That's when I realized it wasn't just the people making noise. That's when the swarm came down on us. The swarm? Rats, flies, cockroaches, every kind of vermin you can think of. They erupted out of the mass, covered it in the brown shit and kept on coming like a river. The vermin and the people together went rushing for Bandurka. I swear they were moving like one big angry animal. 3 of those guys got to him before we could even react. 2 of them held Bandurka down while the other one climbed on top of him and started retching. More brown shit came pouring out of the guy's mouth, out of Bandurka's face. He was screaming for help the whole time, right till his mouth filled up. What did you do then? We gave the fuckers every bullet we had. Got all 8 of the human targets, maybe a few dozen rats too. The containment team got there just in time. I'm not sure how they knew fire would do the trick, but it did. All the vermin, human and otherwise, burned to the crisp. Bandurka too. Glenn, the way that stuff was spreading, the way those things came for us, you're going to classify this thing keto, right? Classification is currently pending, but I think it would be safe to say yes. Good. Good. Do you think there's more of that stuff, Doctor? Elsewhere, I mean? I don't know. I really don't. And transcript. Addendum 1. As of 2015, SCP-2194 quarantine zone exists. No means of permanent removal or disposal of SCP-2194 have yet been identified. Research is ongoing. And here we have an experiment log. Apparently, they just had to experiment with this thing. A sample of SCP... crack the neck. Stretch. A sample of SCP-2194 is currently housed at Biological Containment Site 66. The following experiments making use of the sample are aimed at determining effective methods of removing and/or containing SCP-2194. Means of removal, application, and result. So here we go. Brand Industrial Stain Remover. Stain remover applied using mechanical arm and disposable cloth to an SCP-2194 contaminated surface area of approximately 4 cm squared. SCP-2194 partially dissolved into solution and proceeded to cover all areas the cloth made contact with. Contaminated surface area increased to approximately 28 cm squared. Cloth sealed in biohazard. Cloth sealed in biohazard storage unit. Concentrated hydrochloric acid solution. Acid solution applied to contaminated surface with hose. SCP-2194 partially dissolved into solution and spread to all areas solution made contact with. It is recommended that further tests explore the use of non-corrosive agents. Industrial belt sander. Belt sander attached to a mechanical arm and applied to contaminated surface. SCP-2194 began to spread rapidly across the surface. Belt sander ceased function after 1 minute 23 seconds of use. Deconstruction revealed machinery to be jammed by large quantities of SCP-2194 components sealed in biohazard storage unit. Industrial blowtorch. Blowtorch attached to mechanical arm and applied to contaminated surface. SCP-2194 reduced to approximately half of its original surface area in 2 minutes 3 seconds. Complete removal could not be achieved. Sealant. Concrete. Application. Concrete mix applied to contaminated surface and result. SCP-2194 dissolved into liquid component in concrete mix, contaminated a large amount of the material. Seal ineffective. Molten iron. Molten iron applied to contaminated surface. Seal initially appeared to be effective, however, a large growth of SCP-2194 was observed to expand rapidly beneath the layer of molten iron. 52 seconds after application, the growth broke the seal and erupted, expelling SCP-2194 material onto the walls of the test chamber. It is theorized that SCP-2194 reacted to the extreme heat of the molten iron as it would to attempt removal, but was not affected by the heat level as it would be affected by an open flame. Expanding polyurethane foam. Foam seen applied to contaminated surface as a spray. No accelerated growth observed. Seal remained effective for approximately 200 hours before outer surface began to show signs of contamination. Effective containment method identified. Welcome back, Seno. Welcome back. Oh yeah, do this because I closed the game of silver. What did you miss? Moving pile of garbage, biological and non-biological garbage that spreads some filth around, and if you try to clean the filth, it will keep spreading in different ways, and if a human being is covered in that filth surface, they will apply more trash to the pile, and even try to like put themselves into the pile or eat the pile, and so on and so forth, because they want to just spread that filth around. That's what you missed. Just a bunch of filthy pigs. It was crazy, like, when I went to the SCP Reddit, I saw somebody making a post of like being like reading 10 SCPs a day, and then they were at like 139, like day 139, and they were, I believe, like around the 1900s, if I recall correctly. So I was thinking to myself, like, damn, this person is doing the exact same thing and as I am, but of course they're doing it on a daily basis. And they're also like giving each like SCP like a rating, like 7.5 or 7.7 out of 10. And I was just thinking to myself, like, it's kind of crazy how like more and more people decide to like, yeah, I'm gonna read the whole thing. Well, I could not do this on a daily basis. I would probably go insane. I would go insane if I did this on a daily basis. It would kill me.